everyone. It's Chad of the Rhubarbarian here for Kaspa, the Kaspa Accepted Here series. And we're interviewing merchants from around the globe. And this is a pretty special interview because very early on, when we started asking merchants to accept Kaspa, this one merchant came up, and I think one of the first few that signed up and started to accept Kaspa, and also the very first barber in the entire world to accept Kaspa. So pretty epic, something you could put on your wall and tell your kids and your grandkids. You guys are pioneers in the space. So thanks for being here. So why don't you just introduce yourself and tell me about the business and what you do, because nobody knows other than your barbershop.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Chad. My name is Bjartur Réne. I'm the owner of B-the-Barber barbershop, and this is my longtime friend, Peter. And he's actually the guy who introduced me to Kaspa, and the guy who made the first cash payment at my old barbershop at the time, back in June 2023, I think.
Yeah,
June.
That's right.
Yeah.
Nice. So I'm glad you're here, Peter. So why don't we take a brief side post here and just, Peter, what was your introduction to Kaspa? So how did you get introduced, and then why did you approach Renee?
Yeah, well, it started like we live in a small country. There's just about 50,000 people here, and there's one. It's called Faroe Islands, Faroe. One group was called Crypto Faroe, and it had been dead for a long time because it's post bull run. We're in the bear market, but then I see a post there, and there's a guy that he writes about Kaspa, and Kaspa is during February, March in 2023, and he shows first a screenshot, and it's 0.17, I think. It's 1.7 cents, around that. And I was like, oh, okay, cool, interesting. A few weeks later, it's at 4 cents. And I'm like, yeah, I'm intrigued. Like, whoa, what is this? And at the time, I was playing Solar, which is a football game on the Ethereum. So it's I already dipped my toe into crypto. Well, fortunately, I didn't have to go through the bear market and lose a lot of money like many people have. But yeah, this intrigued me, so I started to do more research on Kaspa. I actually bought the top around 3.5 cents, and it kept dipping. But since I already had a bag, I had to do some research, like what is this? And then I created my X user, and I see this guy that's called Captain Sats. He keeps giving this alpha about Jonathan, and he sent the Vitalik Builder. Vitalik is talking about Jonathan, and you have all these OGs talking about Jonathan and citing him in so many, like, I can't sleep. Like I see, like I realized that I'm onto something big here. And then I tried to tell Bjartur. I planted the seed earlier before I got my haircut for the first time.
He tried to green pill me a few weeks prior, and he told me, you need to research Kaspa, you need to look into this. And I had zero crypto exposure before that. And I was like, yeah, when I have the time and stuff. But then he showed up at my shop, and he needed a haircut, and he insisted by paying with Kaspa. And I was like, yeah, sure. So he set me up a wallet, a Caspian wallet, and we did the payment. I can't remember the exact amount of Kaspa back then, but it has grown substantially since then. And the settlement was instant. The transaction, it was smooth. And then I was like, okay, I have to do my due diligence on this one. So my interest grew. I started to research, and after a while, I was hooked. but first I was pretty new in crypto, so I had to make sure I understood crypto, proof of work, proof of stake. So I began by understanding Bitcoin, and when I understood Bitcoin, you have to understand Bitcoin before you understand Kaspa. So I deep dived into the fundamentals of Kaspa, and yeah, since then, no turning back, no turning back.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's been good kind of watching you. You know, you got the stickers, and you're going to have some point of sale cards coming soon, and
Yes.
and you're posting videos on the transactions. We have I actually posted it today, accepting Kaspa, and kind of a little tutorial. And that was one of the earliest videos we produced, earliest tutorials. I mean, you sent the footage, but we added some things to it. But that video has been replayed and saved and sent to people and reposted hundreds of times.
Yeah.
So you're not only a pioneer in accepting Kaspa, but you're a pioneer in educating other merchants about the speed, at least. But you're mentioning the experience. So you've been accepting Kaspa for what, a year? Like, how long has it been?
I've been accepting Kaspa for over 2 years now.
2 years, yeah. So that was
business.
That's so. How do you have other customers? Have you green pilled your others in the chair? Now they're strapped in with the cape on.
Of course. We actually had a conversation when we were setting up when we were setting up our meeting. Now, I counted at least 10 people who bought Kaspa because I introduced them. And what was your number?
It's around the same, I think.
Yeah, 8-10 people.
I'm not quite sure. Like, there's around 8 or 10 that I know for sure have bought, but I've also talked about it with many more. I just don't know if they.
I watch a lot of Kaspa content at my barbershop. The TV is right behind us, so I have the TV running all day. Sometimes it's music, sometimes it's crypto stuff. And people get curious, of course. I have a lot of, I watched almost every Kaspa Silver video there is. Great, awesome. Great content.
Shout out to Kaspa Silver, yep.
Yeah, of course. Definitely. Of course. And just a lot of, back when I started researching Kaspa, I was YouTubing Kaspa. There wasn't almost no videos around at that time, except Kaspa Silver and a few streamers. I'm not going to mention them, but a few streamers. But the only real quality content was Kaspa Silver on YouTube. Yep. Back like 2 years ago. And now it's everywhere.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's probably 1,000, vloggers, and the channels are just increasing. The X accounts are massive. I think I counted over 1,000. Kaspa X channels that were, reasonable size and posting about Kaspa daily. So it's definitely been an explosion since 2 years ago. I've been at this for 3.5 years. So we launched the brand, and so it's watching it from, I think it was, I hate talking about price, but back in the day it was, 0.0002 or something like that. Right. And, we came in and we branded, and it's just been great. The community's been awesome, and I'm most excited about the adoption and the merchants. I mentioned this in a couple other videos, but I used to get a lot of flack from people saying, why, what's the big deal about these, merchants just accepting Kaspa, these one-off, you got 5 merchants in the whole entire world and I just said, well, it's got to start somewhere. And yeah. Kaspa's main vision is to be a peer-to-peer digital cash. So I'm not going to talk about price. I'm not going to care about the charts. I'm going to care a lot about getting Kaspa into people's hands and seeing it being transacted, spent. You can hold it, spend it, and soon you're going to be able to settle with it. So it's a beautiful project to be a part of. So I'm glad you're on there with us, and good to see the crypto community. So tell me a little about, so you're in the Faroe Islands, which I must say is one of the most beautiful places in the world.
Pretty unique.
I'm craving to be there. So I know that I can probably go to Greenland and then Faroe and then over to Scotland. I think there's some kind of flight situation. So
you can
definitely
go
want to come.
Iceland, and then Faroes.
Iceland. Yeah, Iceland, Faroe. So I'm coming for. I'm gonna let my hair grow out, and I'll be there. We'll get a haircut, and I'll pay in Kaspa. So, but anyway, I do want to say it's a beautiful place, and I'll probably put up some B-roll of the island.
I have to add, it's a small place. We are 55,000 people population, and we have a Kaspa crypto group on Facebook, and we have 547 members. That's like 1% of the entire population. So
that's incredible.
You guys. Kaspa is actually impressive. A lot of people know Kaspa. As we mentioned earlier, a few of my customers have purchased Kaspa. My Kaspa, like, it doesn't happen daily. People are coming in paying with Kaspa, but I have people coming in paying with Kaspa, and people notice the sticker, people notice the content, people are asking about it, and I have my regulars paying with Kaspa. So the interest for Kaspa and the awareness for Kaspa is quite huge around here. We even had Kaspa, they talked about Kaspa on our local radio. They were mentioning it alongside Bitcoin, and then they did like an interview with a guy, and they talked a lot about Kaspa. So Kaspa is definitely on the map in the Faroe Islands.
You'll have to change the name to Kaspa Islands or something. I don't know. That's incredible. That's good. Great on you guys. And this is my point. When people complained, 3 years ago when we started asking merchants to accept Kaspa, 2 years later after you've got 1% of your population talking about Kaspa. You're on the radio. You got customers that are paying in Kaspa and buying. So it's a one little drop in the pond, but the ripples are going. And now we've got merchants all over the world and people accepting Kaspa. And every merchant is an ambassador. They're the evangelists for the project. So it's super important. You guys are definitely doing it. What would you say to other business owners? So you're accepting Kaspa. Well, actually, why don't you tell me a little bit about how it's impacted your business, or what you receive Kaspa? Obviously, it's part of payment for your service. What's it been like working in the real world with accepting cryptocurrency? Because I accept cryptocurrency for my business. And, sometimes our accountants are like, what is this magic money? But how have you experienced it since you've accepted Kaspa within your business, and, how important it is for your future of your business?
Me accepting Kaspa is a huge deal to me because of the cutting out the third party. It's like, it goes really well with my ethos for payment and money. And I see it as a great advancement in technology. I'm accepting Kaspa and I'm spending Kaspa. I spent Kaspa on a hotel. I spent Kaspa on gift cards. I tried out the different options we have. I like to be a pioneer. I like to take steps forward. And just the technicals of Kaspa is amazing. It's so fast. It's so cheap. It's instant. When people are paying with the card, there's fees, and it takes days to get the money, and the banks are closed on weekends, and so on. Kaspa is needed, in my opinion. Kaspa is amazing. Kaspa's freedom. Yeah.
Yeah. Awesome. So what do you think about, so smart contracts are coming, a few different labs are looking at that. Core teams looking at a next generation smart contract on the L1. Kaspa is becoming programmable, and the project is moving from a currency to cutting edge technology that will power the planet. So what do you think of blockchain technology, and how do you think it's going to impact your community, down the road?
As you were mentioning, with the smart contracts rolling out.
Yeah, I feel like it's unbelievable. The team, they just keep delivering way above expectations the whole time. The latest news from Jonathan it was something about layer 1 smart contracts.
Yeah.
It's amazing. It's cutting edge technology.
Yeah.
And it feels like the whole world is there's a paradigm shift, and the whole world is gonna turn upside down. And
yeah, I agree. Because you probably watched some of the interviews and the Maxis, talking about Kaspa and talking crap about Kaspa. But the interesting part is that, the Kaspa core devs and even the whole ecosystem, they just keep developing. Like, it's not we're settled, we're done, we're fine with being a store of value or whatever. It's like every day, every week, there's something new. And from the core team, like you said, Peter, they just keep delivering. Like, it's no matter price up, price down, charts, whatever. Crescendo was an epic launch. It just happened. And when you watch Michael watching the visualizer and it clicked over to 10 blocks, just happened. And there was no flaws. It was amazing. So when you think about what they got cooking with their version of, like, they don't even want to call it smart contracts. They're like going to give it a new name. So they've revolutionized the blockchain. It's now BlockDAG. They've revolutionized speed and transaction. They've done that. Now they're going to revolutionize, settlement and the technology. And that's part of the reason why we started the Powered by Kaspa initiative, because it's like, this is the most important thing. Currency's great. We're all going to accept it, spend it, save it. But the real power is going to be in the technology. And so when these settlement, contracts or whatever you want to call them happen, the world's going to take notice, and you and I, who've been there from the beginning, can just be like, yeah, we were there when it was, when it was Golang, and so it's a great progress to see. So very excited. So you guys mentioned it. What are some of the things that you're excited about?
Okay. Yes. It's been exciting watching it for the past 2 years from the Golang, all the progress they did. The team is amazing. We're getting closer than ever to smart contracts. We have the Casplex and then the IGRA labs, but still the things Jonathan are mentioning about MEV resistance and the Oracle problems and the DAG night shouldn't be far away, as I understand, after smart contracts. But other than that, just seeing people building, launching stuff on the network, on the layer 2s is going to be exciting. New companies, businesses. I even asked AI what we could do, like if we set up a payment system, they could do like honorable loyalty programs
built on chain, where Kaspa if you pay with Kaspa, you can have some loyalty bonus.
Yes.
And it can count how often you've been here.
Like, I think we're moving into parts unknown as well. We're seeing a completely new chapter of monetary history and monetary technology. Kaspa is leading the way. There's so many exciting things to come. Also, things I think unimaginable right now. How we can use it and implement it into daily life. Hopefully, businesses will start to get exposure and accepting Kaspa. And as we move on, things will get built on top. Yeah.
That's great. So what's your favorite part about being part of the Kaspa community? You've been part of it from an early stage. So what are you most favorite?
What's the favorite part?
Favorite part?
Being part of the Kaspa community.
Yeah, okay. To me, it's like I sleep like a baby. I don't really care about the price. I know what I hold, and I know that the devs, they're busy developing the system.
Yep.
And also, like, the devs, they don't care about simply getting rich. They have a much higher purpose. They are trying to push humanity into the future, and they also want to give it into the hands of the people, and not just into the hands of the rich ones who don't have the interest of everyone at heart.
Nice.
So that's truly amazing. Like,
cool.
That's probably the best part of it.
Mm-hmm. And I mean, the Kaspa community is filled with great people. People are doing great work. The Twitter community or the X community is amazing. We have some very good content creators on YouTube as well. Me and Peter were talking before. We've been day one members of the Jim Skipam group, Discord group. We have a lot of great talks with Jim. He's a great guy. So one of our shout outs for Jim.
Shout out to Jim as well.
Another shout out, Kaspa Silver. Peter was in this early group.
I was the first member of his Discord. It was just me and him for a few weeks.
And Bubblegum Lightning for doing an amazing book, the Book of Kaspa. It's a great read or a great listen, especially if you want to get to know the fundamentals and stuff.
Yep.
Barbarian Media as well.
Yeah, for sure.
Chris Hutchinson in the UK, our neighboring country.
Yep.
There's many great people. It's a pleasure to watch. It's a pleasure to learn. Great community.
Awesome.
For sure.
I think you guys covered a lot here. How do people find you? Like, tell me a little bit of like, what's the best place to search? And I'll put links in the descriptions and all that stuff, but how do people find you?
People find me on my socials, mostly Instagram. It's B-the-Barber, Facebook, B-the-Barber. I'm on TikTok as well, but not my main platform. I don't have a business profile on X, but I'm on X as well as Buju Banton 90, one of my favorite reggae artists.
Nice. So what would you say to other business owners that are thinking about accepting Kaspa? Give me just like the short elevator speech. How would you green pill them to accept Kaspa?
I mean, first you have to understand crypto. You have to understand the values of proof of work versus proof of stake. You have to understand what Kaspa can bring to the table. You have to understand how Kaspa moves. But after that, it's the best form of money there is. It's freedom. It gives you control. If we take the investing aspect, it can go up, it can go down, but as of now, I think Kaspa immensely undervalued. But let's move aside the price talk. Kaspa gives you control. Kaspa gives you speed. Kaspa gives you a fair market fee on your payments or transactions. Kaspa is just be your own bank.
Yeah.
What's better than that? Like we're all sick of the bank system. We're all sick of the third-party issuers. We're all sick of the unfairness and the fees and Kaspa is for the people. Kaspa is simply pure.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's awesome, guys. Well, I think that's good. I'll wrap it up here. Are there any last words?
Thank you, Chad. It's been a pleasure talking to you, and it's been a pleasure communicating with you as always. Very helpful. Thank you for all the work you've done for Kaspa and for the community. We really appreciate you, and I'm looking forward to future collaboration.
Yeah, for sure. I appreciate it. All right, you guys, thanks a lot. Thanks for all you do. Keep up the good work. And if you need anything, you know who to give a call to for support. We'd love to make sure that you get all you need to keep, increasing the percentages of those accepting Kaspa at the Faroe Islands. So we'll check in next year, and there'll be hopefully 5%.
Yeah, maybe 5.
Accepting. Yeah, so awesome. Perfect.
Yeah.
So thanks, guys.
Bye-bye.
Thanks so much.